right. Hello, you fucks. Welcome to John Solo's Beard Brigade. Talk to the beard. Tell everybody in the background to mute their phones. Extravaganza. I should flip the camera around at some point so everybody can see. We've got like a crowd in my hotel room. It's fucking awesome. This is going to be the last show possibly of the night tonight. And on this one, I'm bringing on somebody live that I only met last night. Eden Winters, hello.
Hi.
I told you Eden's nervous, so everybody just be nice to her. We're not going to, just a little bit. Your outfit is gorgeous.
Well, thank you.
Yeah. Tell us about the outfit first.
Okay, I was just in a panel. It was Shifters, and I decided to wear my elf outfit because why not?
Yeah, as one would do at GRL. And
yes, that's the great thing about GRL. If you've got something strange that you can't walk down the street in at home, bring it.
like a priest outfit or something.
Well, actually, you've seen all those in the hotel.
Yeah. I kind of wished I would have brought my priest outfit because that would have been fantastic just to fit in. What panel were you on?
It was Shifters.
So, and you and who else?
AJ, because I'm nervous, I can't think of the name.
That's
AJ
all right.
Sherwood
Yep.
and Layla Doreen.
All right. How'd it go?
It was actually a pretty good. We had some good questions.
Mhm.
We had some unique questions, but it was.
You got to tell me what are the unique questions. What was?
Have we ever written shifters where one of them was human and one of them was in shifter form?
So you're saying, like, let's say we have a tiger shifter, and we have another shifter, but he's, let's say, a bear, but he's not actually shifted. So
Right.
the tiger and the human, they're going at it.
Yeah, that was the question.
That's a
And
little funky.
yeah, all of us said no. We haven't written that.
Next. It's funny that actual question has come up recently in a group that I'm in. Nobody wants to see that. Although one of our friends, Anna Weinhardt, was discussing the possibilities. She said it was gross, though. So, and I,
One of the early books that I read in the genre, that was the case.
yeah, and to each your own. I guess somebody's into that as long as there's not anybody being hurt. I don't. Not my cup of tea. I think.
Well, it was the second book I read in this genre, and there was no warnings, and I'm like, what have I just read?
What the fuck did I just see? Yeah, I get it. By the way, I love your accent. Where are you from?
I'm from South Carolina.
Okay, excellent.
Accent? I don't have an accent, do I?
Yes, you do. I do too.
We have Boston in the background being represented too.
Okay. So is it obligatory that I say bless your heart?
Dude, you guys say that like it's. I'm pretty sure what you're saying is fuck off. That's
No,
pretty,
it's not the case. It can be used several different ways.
what I normally hear is fuck off. That's
Well, the bad ones we don't say to your face.
yeah, that makes perfect sense.
Yes, but we can say bless your heart when we actually mean bless your heart.
I
Yeah.
don't
You
think
poor thing. Yeah, bless your heart.
I don't think I've ever heard it that. Just to me though. I mean, maybe it's just the things that I do.
There's 15 different inflections of bless your heart. Yes, there are.
We're gonna get along. Did you fly here or did you drive here?
We drove.
Yeah, that's a long drive. from
Okay,
South
we
Carolina.
didn't drive.
Okay, so your husband. Yeah. Well, and so Eden's husband is in the background here. He's not on camera right now, but we were discussing earlier that here's how we met. All right. So it was last night at the dance.
It was the night before.
I don't know what day it is. So sometime we were at a dance together, and you came up, introduced yourself because you're very gregarious like that, and you commented on my shirt. I was wearing a Star Wars shirt. So Eden and her husband are in the 501st, which anyone if you don't know what the 501st is, just get the fuck off here. But they dress up as stormtroopers and do charity events and that sort of thing, on top of a lot of other stuff that they do with Star Wars. You were explaining to me that your husband actually dresses up as one of the Red Guard. Is that correct?
No, I'm the Red Guard.
You're the Red Guard.
He's a stormtrooper.
Which is fucking awesome.
Yeah, well, that's just, I would like a costume where I can actually move.
Are you saying the Red Guard costume, the Stormtrooper costume, you can't move in? And the Red
It's
Guard,
very difficult, yes. And when you do, you clank.
they can't shoot with this shit either.
Oh, no. Yeah, he sends me these little text, and it says, I'm aiming my blaster at you. It's a little Star Wars, and the lady comes back and says, yeah, I miss you too.
I used to have it. it doesn't relate to your joke, but I used to have a T-shirt that it's just a stormtrooper with his head in his hands, and he said, "I had friends on that Death Star," which was fantastic. But so before we talk about your books, which we probably should, and all that fun stuff, how did you get into the 501st?
Actually, my husband was already in the 501st because he creates the stormtrooper costumes himself. And so he has gotten into the 501st and helped others to do so.
Okay.
And I kind of just natural that I go with him. So-
Show up occasionally where your husband
So,
is.
yeah, well, I went anyway as different characters, but people would talk about us because we're walking around Comic-Con and there's a Jedi holding hands with a stormtrooper, and we're like, shh, don't tell his boss.
That's fantastic. Well, you haven't been married that long. It's like, is it 5 years?
5 years.
Yeah, yeah.
Star Wars wedding, yes.
Yeah, you told me about that too. So you got married with a Star Wars wedding, and the bridesmaids were dressed as...
Just different characters.
Okay.
All the groomsmen were all stormtroopers.
That's fantastic.
And the officiant did make him take his helmet off to make sure we had the right person.
That's bullshit.
And Darth Vader walks me down the aisle.
I guess who's your daddy and what does he do?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's fantastic. So now that I've got my nerddom out of the way, we talked. You've written 24 books. Is that correct?
20 in this genre, yes.
20 in this genre.
24.
So where did you come from to get into the genre? What were you doing?
Actually, I was just reading. I was in fan fiction, where a lot of the authors started.
Yep.
We've had books that we didn't like the ending, or we've got to wait 2 years for the next one. No. So we wrote our own. And on there, I met different authors that we grew and became authors of this genre. But it's just that I was fascinated with the books.
What was it? Star Wars you were writing fan fiction in?
No, it was actually Anita Blake, Vampire Hunter,
Okay.
that I wrote because I was the champion of the underdeveloped character. The little side one, that you saw for 5 minutes and then they got killed. No. They need a backstory.
So you're writing the NPCs. Okay. That's fantastic. So many authors. I've had 2 different people on in the last 2 days, and many more prior to that. And some of my best friends that are authors, all of them came from fan fiction, and it's an easy place to start. You can kind of get your feet wet. The thing that always confused me about fan fiction, and I didn't know what fan fiction was until I started into this genre, were the acronyms that are associated with it. You have a very small space that you need to title your fanfic piece in, and there are all these acronyms that you can use to describe its one male or 2 males or 2 males or 3 males, what they're into, whether it's non-con or not, and all this, the acronyms associated with it. And fanfic people will speak in these acronyms. It's a language in and of itself.
Yes.
That I don't understand a thing for. This has become a joke in my group and with my friends. They will spit out an acronym and I will make up a different meaning for it because I don't know what the fuck it means. Yeah, the acronyms are always confusing to me. When did you decide you're writing fan fiction and you decide, fuck it, I'm going to write a book? When did that happen and how did it happen?
I was challenged by a friend. We were moderators on a site that not just posted fan fiction, it was to develop your writing. So whenever you posted something, people critiqued it and helped to make it better. And I was reading more in the genre than she was. I'm like, oh, you've got to read this book. She read it, and then she called me and said, we could do this. So we each wrote our first book, and mine was published in 2009.
Did you self-pub or did you send it off to?
In that case, I published it as a serial online.
Okay.
My first with a publisher was in 2010.
Okay. So you actually approached a pub after your first one and you said, look, and somebody said yes.
Well, it was interesting. This friend had sent hers and they declined it, but she said, okay, send your story in and they will critique it and you'll get all this valuable information. They're going to turn it down, but you'll get valuable information. Well, I got an email from them and I'm expecting, what their critique, and they said, is this still available?
Huh.
So
that's wonderful.
yeah. So that's how it got started.
So at that point, now you found your legs, so to speak, and you decided were you coming from a day job? Were you working at all, or did you decide I'm just gonna quit, or what?
No, I have been a steady working
Okay.
day job this entire time.
That happens, and a lot of us still do it. I don't, but but a lot of us still do it, which is good. That means you can actually afford to do and you still kept this as a love and a hobby and a passion. It's challenging, I found sometimes too, for us of us to go full time to continue with that. Once you go full time with the thing you love, sometimes it's hard to continue loving it.
Well, I started full time a month ago.
Well, welcome to the deep end. It's a challenge to keep this up and to keep that smile on your face the whole time. Seems like you're doing all right so far.
Yeah, I've had so many ideas that I just wanted to bring to the page, but I haven't had time. When you have 6 hours a week that you can spend on it, you just can't pursue it like you want to.
Yeah.
And the people who read behind me, beta readers and crypt partners, are now extremely grateful because the things I send to them have been a whole lot in better condition than they used to be.
Okay.
Let's say that.
I get it. Congratulations on going full time. That's a big deal.
Thank you.
Were you just like, I think I'm going to make enough money? Or were you just like, fucking, I'm retiring? Or
As it was more that I had been working from home for 18 months. They were bringing us back, and I now lived an hour and a half away.
Okay.
And that's 3 hours a day
yeah.
driving, which, hey, great for listening to audiobooks. That's how I met you.
I'm sorry about that.
Oh, no. I'm a big fangirl. That's why I approached you. I'm a fangirl.
But I'm not Nick J. Russo. You know this, right?
Um,
I'm just
Who's that?
exactly. They never know. Thank you, by the way. And the jump, there's so many people that do this in so many different ways. I love the story of it. So the pandemic actually brought you to being a full-time writer.
Correct.
Which is a wonderful lemons to lemonade story.
Yeah, well, we just decided that we didn't want the 3 hour a day commute again.
Yeah.
And you don't have anything but weekends. You leave home before the sun comes up, and you come back after dark, and you're dragging in, and
Yeah. Well, from my friends that I've talked to, as well as I looked you up. I think you're going to be all right. I think you're going to be just fine. What are you working on right now? What's the title you're working on?
right now I'm working on one that Cursed, Ride or Die.
Okay.
And the idea was it's a biker that's been cursed, and it's kind of loosely the Flying Dutchman. He can only stay in one location for a month,
Okay.
or he will die.
That's
So he has to keep moving.
okay.
And I had a hard time coming up with a love interest. Everyone I tried to introduce, it didn't work. So someone jokingly on my group on Facebook said, "Oh, you need a shifter." And I'm like, "No, I'm not writing a shifter. No, I'm not." Okay, he's a shifter.
You gave in.
Yes, we have a cursed biker and a werewolf shifter.
Do they have a baby?
No, I haven't written any impreg.
It happens in every book that it's 3 sex scenes and a baby. That's the formula. You pull that off.
No, I co-wrote one as someone kind of used my characters. I allowed them to use my character, and she wrote one. But I've read them, but I don't know. You write what your brain tells you to write, and it just hasn't done that yet.
It's not natural for a brain to tell you to make a man poop a baby, but
In my books, they become parents by either adoption or surrogacy.
okay.
So
These sound really cool. And I say that, understand that I'm kind of jaded at this point. I did a lot of these books in this genre, but it sounds pretty cool. It sounds like a cool concept. Do you have a website?
I do.
I'm not very good at this promo thing, by
Okay,
the way. I normally never do this, but
Well, I made it really difficult. It's EdenWinters.com.
can you spell that? I'm just joking with you. I'm just Thank you for coming on. You're like the sweetest thing. And I'm also going to listen to this recording so I can perfect my North Carolina accent, which is going to be wonderful.
South Carolina.
South Carolina.
Fuck me.
I live in
Oh,
It's been a long day.
Oh my goodness. It's a totally different. How dare you?
Exactly.
I told you were about to die.
For those that can't hear, Misky Harris is in the background threatening to cut a bitch. That's wow.
He's got
But
yes.
thank you for coming on. I really appreciate
Well,
this.
thank you for inviting me.
Yeah. This next part is really easy. You wave at the camera, we say goodbye, and everyone, I think that I will see you tomorrow. Have fun.